So I've got a bit of a double plant haul unboxing or unveiling today. I've got what's in this box, so this should contain the Birkin pink along with a few others, so let's hope that it's arrived safely. We'll find out in just a moment. Plus some others that I bought from the garden centre, a couple of rescue plants on sale, some baby plants, and also a completely new variety for my collection. So we'll start with the smallest first. I did actually lie in the intro. This is actually the second completely new plant to the collection, or new variety of plant to the collection. I'm guessing this is a succulent. I need to do some research. Maybe you can comment below and let me know a little bit more about this if you know what this is. Kryptanthus. It looks like a succulent. It's got firm spiky leaves, almost a little bit like an aloe vera, so I just need to be careful around this. And it's got this wonderful red colour with stripes, green stripes down the middle of the leaves. So I bought this because the colour was really striking, and I just thought it would be a little bit unusual to be in the collection because it's not like anything else that I've got. So if you do have any tips on looking after this, then please do share them in the comments below. And the next baby plant in the plant haul is this Philodendron Atom. So this one actually caught my attention first when I went into the garden centre. This one just has these wonderful leaves, really quite large leaves for such a small plant, so it looked really healthy. So I picked this up and realised it was £3.49 or 3 for £9. So of course that encouraged me to buy 3 plants to make up the offer. So we've got this Philodendron Atom, this Kryptanthus that I showed you first, and also a plant that I showed you in my previous video, Plant Trends for 2023, a St. Paulia or African Violet. So that's somewhere else in the collection, but if you haven't seen that video and you want to see that, my thoughts on what the plant trends for 2023 would be, I'll link it at the end for you, or you can find it on the channel. Now the next two plants are both the same type of plant, just different varieties, and these were the ones that were reduced, so the rescue plants. I always check out the reduced section to see if there's any bargains, but also I don't like to see plants that could potentially be wasted if people don't think they have any hope in them to bring them back to health, whereas these ones are relatively okay. They're just a bit untidy, so I think that's why they've been sold off and maybe a bit old for the garden centre. So I think they've been there a while, they've grown out a little bit, the soil's got a bit tired, the leaves are a little bit crispy. So this is a Miranda leucanura kirchhoviana, and as you can see now that I've let that go, you can see that it's a bit leggy. It's got a couple of branches going off this way, another one going off this way, but you'll also see that it has a huge amount of leaves on it, lots of new growth with little leaves on there. But what really made me decide on this was actually in the middle there were new shoots, new leaves about to unfurl, and they've all since unfurled, as you can see there, so healthy new growth there. So I think all this needs is maybe a repot, either some support for these, or I could possibly trim those off and propagate them in the spring, or maybe just trim off the damaged leaves as the new growth comes through. So that was £5 down from £8.99, so about a 40% reduction ish. That's very quick maths, about 40% reduction in price. So would you have paid that for a Miranda kirchhoviana of that size, or equivalent if you're not from the UK? £5. And then the other plant, as I said, another Miranda, but this one is actually a variety that I wasn't aware of. This one, if I bring it a little bit closer so you can see the leaves, this one has really nice leaves, so almost variegated leaves with dashes of cream and white and different shades of green across the leaves. This is a Miranda Fiesta, and this one was £7 down from £14.99, so this one just over a 50% saving on it. And again, I think this is very similar to the other one. It's not quite as leggy, it's still actually holding itself upright, but it has got a bit of crisping on the leaves, as you might have saw when I brought it closer. The soil looks quite old in the pot as well, but again, what really sort of made me think there was more hope for this plant than just what's existing on the stems is the new shoots that are coming up in the middle, again, that are about to open. So plenty of hope that this plant can be rescued and brought back to full health. So again, I'll probably do the same as the other one, just pot it up with some fresh soil, maybe put some support in for these, and trim the damaged leaves off as the new growth comes in. So again, would you have paid £7 for a Miranda Fiesta of this size if you saw it on the sale rack? So I did say that one of the plants was completely new to the collection in terms of variety, and that is this carnivorous plant. So the first carnivorous plant that I've had, this was suggested to me by Sunshine Carnivores, who commented on a previous video to ask if I'd do anything on carnivorous plants in the future. So I still need to learn myself on those, and also do a little bit of research with this one to keep this one alive. So this one is a Sarracenia purpurae, and it's a type of pitcher plant, as you can probably tell from the shape of the I'm not sure if these are leaves or flowers, but my research will tell me what they are. And this is where it catches the bugs to digest them for the nutrients for the plant. And I believe they also like moist or boggier soil, so different care to standard houseplants. So that's what I need to do my research, learn how to keep these happy and healthy. And then providing I can keep this one alive, I do want to add to the collection with a Venus flytrap, something a little bit more traditional, and other types of pitcher plant to add a little bit more structure and colour. So any tips you've got on looking after these, very much appreciated. Please drop them in the comments below. But fingers crossed I can keep this one happy and healthy. So let's open up the box for the Philodendron pink and the other few plants in here. This is a Philodendron gloriosum. If you can see on the camera, the wonderful green, slightly shimmery leaves. It's only a small plant, but it's got those two fantastic leaves and a new one on the way. It definitely does need a water. I think while it's been in transit, it's dried out quite a bit. So I'll water that after the video, but it looks very healthy. Really lovely texture and look to the leaves too. So this was only $8.99, which I thought was a good price for this variety of plant, and also practicing what I preach in terms of growing your indoor jungle for less by growing small and then helping them to grow to their full potential, because you often get them for a much better price. So $8.99 for this little Philodendron gloriosum. So the other plants are unpacked, and this is the Philodendron Rojo Congo. So this one really caught my eye when I unwrapped it. It's got wonderful glossy dark green leaves with an almost brownish, bronzish tinge to it, with lovely red stems. So this one's a really good sized plant with very healthy leaves and new growth on it, it seems. So I bought this for a reason. This is actually going to feature in the next video when I do the video about the Philodendron Birkin pink as well. So this is the Philodendron Birkin pink. First impressions, it's not as pink as I was expecting, but it is a small plant. So I think when it matures a little bit, it will show more pink variegation. It is very subtle at the moment. You can see the pink there, but the variegation is also different to the Birkin, to what I was expecting. So it does have wonderful glossy leaves, as you can see in the light, with a little bit of texture, but the variegation seems to be more blotchy as opposed to in lines. So that might change across the leaves, because I know some of these leaves can be very different as well, as it just depends on how the leaf develops. If you've ever looked at the underside of a Philodendron pink princess, sometimes the ones with little variegation, you can actually see the patches of different colour on the undersides of the leaves, which is very much the case with these ones. So this new leaf, the one that got a little bit damaged in transit, you can possibly see that there's a slight hue to that that's making it go a little bit bronze. And if I turn it around so that you can see the underside, I mean, you can definitely see the colour on the stems. So this one is a light green with a pink tint to it on the underside, and you can actually see in the light from my angle, you can actually see the dashes of variegation across the leaf. Same as this one, as I mentioned, the pink princess. If I just try and catch this in the light so you can see hopefully the little patches of variegation on the back as well. So we've got a new leaf in the middle, and hopefully when that comes up, that'll have a little bit more of that variegation on it. So that's when I'll do the video, so I can show you this in more of its colour and a bit more about its origins and care tips. So just for comparison, so you can see the difference between the two Birkins, this is the standard Birkin, the green one, very, very green, and this one is the pink. So you can definitely see it in the stems, and as I said, hopefully when that new leaf comes up, it'll be more evident in the leaf. But I will keep you updated, and this will keep featuring in future videos, particularly the next one when that leaf comes out. And here's the next plant in the plant haul. So this, I feel, is incredibly underrated. This is the Epipremnum Mandela, or happy leaf. So if I bring this closer, you'll be able to see the amazing variegation on those leaves and the wonderful colours, and just how bright some of those leaves are. I mean, that one's almost completely white at the top there. So this will really brighten up any spot that I put it in the house. However, I think it's going to go with the rest of the Epipremnum collection, which is behind the camera, hanging up behind the camera. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that I like to collect different varieties of Epipremnum. So this has been on the wish list for a while, and this is usually around £10 to £12 when I see it, but this was just £6.49, so I definitely snapped it up at that price. And when I say this is underrated, you see so many different variegated plants going for huge prices. Granted, they are more rare type plants, but this has the same sort of colours, same sort of variegation on the plant, and this is, well, less than £10, £6.49. So if you want that sort of variegation and that wonderful colour, this Epipremnum is definitely the way to go. I hope you found that video interesting in showing you what plants I received in the plant order and also from the garden centre. Would you have bought the same rescue plants that I did at the price that I got them for? And also hopefully the Philodendron Birkin pink will start to show a little bit more pink when that new leaf starts to come out. This is going to be the next video, so on the Philodendron Birkin pink and the standard Birkin, the origins and care tips. So if you'd like to see that, please do subscribe, and I'll have new videos every week. I'll link my last video, which is all about houseplant trends for 2023, at the end if you'd like to check that out next and see what plants maybe you've already got and what you want to add to your wish list for this year. As always, thank you for watching. Grow your wellbeing.